Katie at the Fabric Squirrel, and I can't believe we're already at like the end of June. Halfway through the year, I thought was a perfect time to just talk you through my Me Made wardrobe so far this year. So I like to sew for occasions, even like the smallest occasion. I feel like is really important. For me, it's just a bit. I find it easier to get inspiration from like a day out. So we've had a few little trips this year that have been my main inspiration. So I thought I'm wearing this today, so I will talk you through our first inspiration, which was Disneyland. I say small. Disneyland was a massive deal for us, and we had the best time. So this was my Ariel inspired outfit. The fabric is the Crafty Lass. She brought Seeing Colour out just in time, and I couldn't wait to get started. I thought the purple was very Ariel, the Ariel I remember when I was younger, and it's something a bit different. It wasn't really obvious, but then it's also got the seahorses on. I actually bought these trousers from TK Maxx because I thought they were perfect, and they were in the sale. So I bought this to go with the top. I went really over top on the shearing. I made the top, a lot longer, and I've ended up just tucking it under itself, because with these trousers it felt a bit bulky. But I've been wearing this top with jeans or like high-waisted shorts, and then I'll just sort of use it the full length without any belly showing. So this worked really well. I'll show you the pattern. I use this McCall's pattern, so it's McCall's M8256, and I have made a few tops in this. So as you can see, it doesn't look anything like the picture. The first one I made was also in the Crafty Lasses Seeing Colour, but I did it in the seaweed green, and I did this because we went to CBeebies Hotel in Alton Towers, and I thought it'd be really cool to wear to the aquarium. So this is now whenever we go to an aquarium, this is what I wear, and I really liked it, but I didn't like the bagginess of it, so I'd always wear it tucked in anyway with high-waisted shorts or jeans. So I thought, there's loads to work with, so I'll just make this with the sheared around the stomach. So two tops, same pattern, and completely different. The other difference that I did to the pattern was, rather than bind the neck, I just added elastic, which actually was loads easier anyway. And I've obviously made the arms shorter, and I've sheared those rather than add the elastic. So it was a really nice way of mixing it up and making the most of the patterns that you've already got to create something that you've got in your head. So that is my first outfit that I am here to show you today. Okay, so I mentioned Disneyland. The other outfit that I made for day 2 in Disneyland was this skirt. It is Spider-Man, and I saw Spider-Man while we were in the Marvel area and shouted, "Spider-Man, do you like my skirt?" And he shot some webs at me, so I think that was a yes. There aren't many times where you get compliments from people when you're out and about, but I have to say, there was a lady I was queuing up for the toilets who was like, "I love your outfit," and I was like, "Oh, thanks, I made it myself." And I've made this skirt twice, and I've also had a compliment wearing that one as well. So I just think it's just so flattering. I don't tend to get compliments from random people when I'm out and about, so I just love this skirt. I actually self-drafted it. It was so easy, and I've written up how I've done it on my blog as well, so feel free to go and have a look. I bought this elastic especially for it, so it's really wide, and this isn't the first time I've made this one, so I also made it in this lemon, and I always end up wearing this Agnes top. So this is just a Tilly and the Buttons Agnes top, and it just looks, I feel like it's like tiny waist, and then you've got the shoulders, so it just really looks good with all proportions. So yes, this top, I just always wear it in black. And when I made this one, I added you can see the like trim to the bottom as well, so it's just like extra pretty, extra bit of detail. I'll show you the skirt. I didn't make this year, I made this last year or a couple of years ago, can't remember now, but yeah, I did this one especially for Disneyland. There is like a metre-ish of fabric. It's probably more like 75 centimetres, I would think, actually, because I used some for the pockets. And then you just cut it down on the fold of the fabric, gather it at the top. You need to make sure your elastic is the exact same fit as your waist. So when you sew it together and you give yourself sort of an inch plus of seam allowance, it's going to be tight because it tends to be at an angle. So it needs to be tight, otherwise the first time I tried it I ended up with it being baggy at the top and then tight at the bottom. You just need to gather to fit the elastic and then zigzag stitch it on top of your fabric. So you can sort of see how I've done it there. It's the easiest make. I actually made one with my friend for the coronation as well. So she had like some of the coronation fabric and she wore it for her afternoon tea. And yeah, great pattern. Please go make use of it, it's on my blog. Right, so this is my third make in Sea and Colour. So I'm not normally such a massive fan of one fabric collection, but I just really loved like all the prints. So I made these shorts. That was the first thing that I made, but it was back in like February or like January or February when they arrived, and I just hadn't had the chance to wear them. So now that it's like short weather, I'm wearing them all the time, normally just with like a plain white t-shirt. But I sort of made them with holidays in mind. I've made a few pairs of shorts in the Crafty Lass fabric. I think when it comes to shorts, you can be really fun. So I'd much rather wear like a really loud short and then just a plain white t-shirt. So yeah, I think tops are harder because sometimes you want them to be stretchy, so cotton's not always the easiest. Only suits certain patterns, but shorts are shorts. And they work really well with cotton. So this pattern is actually from the Sewing Bee. So I don't know if you watched the series last year, so the 2022 series, and they made the paper bag shorts in one of the pattern challenges. So that is where this has come from. I've made a few of the patterns from this book, and I really like it. So I made the quilted jacket and the shearing dress, which has then accelerated my love of shearing, as you'll probably see as this year pans out. So yes, I recommend the book. I don't sell it or anything, just what I would say. Yes, and these are my Crafty Lass Sea and Colour shorts. So back in January, February, so right at the start of the year, this is probably one of the first things that I made actually this year. The Craft Cotton got in touch with me and asked if I would be able to make anything for the Stitches show that is on every February. It's like a wholesale event, and if I would make something for their stand, which obviously I was like, yes, of course, please send me fabric. And they sent me two of this collection of Simplicity fabrics. So I've actually got all five that I stock, and I've sewed up in two of them. I said, well, I'd love to make you something for your stand. I'm going, would you like me to be a walking display as well? And I could sew in two fabrics. And they said yes. So if you don't ask, you don't get. So I'll show you this one on as well. So I sewed this up for them to have on the stand. This one here is the Lost dress. So there's another Tilly and the Buttons. I've been a massive Tilly fan for quite a few years now, but her patterns are so simple and I find them quite flattering for my body shape. I think that's the point, is that they work for all types of body shapes, so really inclusive, really easy to follow. I like that the actual sleeves that they come in don't fall to pieces. And I'm not a massive fan of a PDF pattern because I'm old school. I don't like all the cutting and sticking. Just want to do it. and I like to be able to store them easily and not have to rummage through loads of different cut out bits of paper that I've forgotten to label properly. So anyway, I digress. This is Lotte. Now I do love this dress, but I'm quite pale, so I haven't worn it very often because I don't feel that confident in wearing white unless I've got a bit of a tan, which I never do because I don't tan. So unless I fake tan, I tend to avoid white. But I don't know, now that we've had a bit of sunshine, I feel like I'm getting a little bit more colour. I might find that I'm wearing it a little bit more. But when I wore it in the winter, I just had like some brown mauvey type tights because it has the sleeves as well. So it is sort of an all season dress as well. So yeah, I love this one. I'll show you Marnie as well because I feel like I need to try it on to really appreciate the detail on it. Okay, so this is the Marnie dress, another Tilly the Buttons pan. And because this one was going on the display, I thought it was a really good dress to show off a few like sewing techniques and just because it was there for people to appreciate, they'll be able to notice the detail up close. So I thought this was a really good pattern. I'm not 100% like confident in it as I expected it to be. It's quite big, it's quite in your face. And I made a little belt to go with it, so I'll show you it without. I felt like it didn't really do. As you notice, most of my other things were high-waisted and a lot of tucked in at the waist, so this wasn't necessarily me. I probably haven't worn it as much as I should. Have worn it a couple of times, but I need to get over it and get some use out of it because it is really pretty. The nips and tucks like here are amazing, and the frill, I think maybe if I'd added either one or the other, but I put everything into it, so maybe that is why. I do love the sleeves, but maybe if I'd made the sleeves shorter, since it's quite a short dress, and it's been so hot here at the moment, I've not wanted all of the fabric on the sleeves, but I love the fabric. You can't tell from a distance, it's like you look at it up close. It's from the Vintage Simplicity range again. It's got all the flowers and it's got Simplicity Vintage on it, and it's got the little vintage scissors hidden away. It's really pretty. If you haven't seen this fabric collection yet, make sure you go and have a look. But yes, this is my Marnie dress. So this is my first Mabel dress that I've made, and I have now made 3 because I love it so much. As soon as the pattern came out, I ordered it. So it is another Tilly and the Buttons, and this is the pattern here. This dress is sort of straight, no changes to the one that's on the front with the long sleeves and sort of the just under knee length length. I do always add pockets to everything. A lot of the patterns don't come with pockets anymore, but I always add them because you never don't need a pocket, whether it's to put a tissue in or a car, because Alfred loves cars. I've always got a car in my pocket, and obviously my phone and keys and stuff on the school run. So yeah, always add a pocket. The fabric for this one is Lewis and Irene, and you can see it's like a cross stitch design. I do love a bit of cross stitch, and I felt like this fabric hadn't had a lot of love, so it's a good way to showcase it. I have made now 3, which I've mentioned, and I haven't shown anybody yet. So I've been making them secretly over the last few weeks because they're one is for my brother's wedding. I'll get that now. So my brother is getting married this year. I'm marrying into an Indian family, and there's going to be a big Hindu wedding. So I've got my sari and things, which is really exciting. But for the civil ceremony, sort of like the English one, I have made this dress here. So the fabric collection is Indian Summer, and it's an organic fabric collection that comes from inspired by the Indian Textiles exhibition at the Natural History Museum. It's another craft cotton one, and their make and believe sort of branch that they've got now, their organics. and this particular print is called Lovebirds. So I couldn't actually think of a more perfect fabric than making something with this collection than for my brother's wedding. And I love this pattern so much that I thought I could probably make it with short sleeves, add a little frill to the bottom to make it feel a little bit like fancier, a bit dressier I suppose. So yeah, this is this one. I'm quite excited about wearing it. I also figured it feels weddingy, but also I would definitely wear this like throughout the summer. And then just for fun, I made a very pink version of this dress because this fabric has been staring at me in my room for the last few months. And I just really want to sew in it, so I don't know. I'm definitely going to wear it to go and see the new Barbie film. I made it and then it was way too short, so I added some of the new organic plain range that I've got from the Craft Con company, and just added that just to add a bit of length, but also it makes it extra girlier. So yeah, definitely can't wait for the Barbie movie to come out and to wear this, and then I'm not sure when else I'm going to wear it, when I'm feeling girly I suppose. So yes, that is most of what I've made brand new, but a lot of what I've sewn so far this year has been quilts and also just make, do and mend. I've turned loads of Alfie's trousers that used to be George's that were hand-me-downs then, so they've all got the knees worn out, turned a lot of those into shorts, so you might have seen my videos on those. And then just the odd little repairs, adding patches to knees, and then I'll show you one dress as an example. I bought it a few years ago in a sale for about £5 or £6, and then I never wore it because I couldn't walk in it. It was just too tight, so I ended up like taking tiny child footsteps. I managed to I just got round to it. It was really easy. It's just finding the time and inclination to do it. I unpicked the seam and then just hemmed it on each side, so it's got a slit, and now I wear it all the time. It's a really good summery dress. So I would just say it's like make the most of what you've got in your wardrobe. Either repurpose it, get rid of it if you don't need it so someone else can enjoy it. I plan on getting my husband to sort out all his shirts he doesn't wear, because he probably only wears 10% of what's in his cupboard in the wardrobe. And I've got an idea for making a dress out of some shirts, so that's on my to-do list this year as well. Yeah, I've got an Isle of Wight holiday coming up, so I'm hoping to feel a bit inspired to maybe make a couple more things for that, but I'll probably just reuse what I've already made over the last few years because it's a growing collection now. I will put all the details of all the patterns that I have mentioned today. I'll write them all up, but if you've got any questions, you want to know about any of the fabric or techniques or anything, then please just drop me a message. Most of the fabric you've seen is available on thefabricsquirrel.com. So make sure you go and have a look. I have lots of fun prints which I love sewing with and sharing with all of you as well. So thank you for listening.